So at this point, when I go online, I figured that we would be able to start to really see through the BS big time. Um, the USA hockey team, among other U.S. Olympic teams, have won gold medals. That's great. That's all good and well. Um, but then we see the director of the FBI chugging a beer in the USA men's hockey room right after they won the gold medal. Now, normally, under any other set of circumstances, that would make sense. That would be great. It would probably make sense that high-ranking officials want to party with a athletic team that represents the United States at the highest levels. Sure, that all checks out. But people are just sharing the beer chugging picture with the director of the FBI and hanging out with the USA hockey team. Under any other set of circumstances, that would be all good and well. But those aren't those circumstances. Okay? We're not in those circumstances. I don't know if I could ever go and chug beer with a hockey team right in the middle of me supposedly doing my job in holding criminals who harm children accountable. Because the other thing that really got to me was, of course, I didn't watch the State of the Union. Garbage in, garbage out. Why would I do that? I go and I see an edit someone did of Howard Lutnick walking around a free man at the State of the Union. Howard Lutnick magically was not around on the day of 9/11. 643 of his employees perished. He didn't. Howard Lutnick, his past is fraught with serious allegations across the board of everything that we've been talking about. He lit up the Epstein files like a Christmas tree. No less, he's a free man and he's walking around and he's yucking it up at the State of the Union. And people are actually still watching the State of the Union. And I keep having to unfollow these channels because it is truly disgusting and reprehensible that you would even still make Trump casual memes and joke like with Trump in memes and stuff. There are pages of hobbies and things I like to do, and I see that they're sharing Trump casual memes as though nothing is going on with Epstein and the children going missing and the blatant cover-up. I don't know how these goy-fluencers, these Johnny-come-lately MAGA goy bros, can sleep at night knowing that they're continuing to engage their audience with Trump slop. With all that we have learned in the past 2 weeks, you still have and celebrating the director of the FBI with the hockey. We're so back. As if I couldn't hear a bigger lie in my life. We're so back. And meanwhile, there's probably children right now going missing. And wait until people realize that there are people that were in charge of so-called efforts to raise awareness and rescue kids from trafficking. Wait until you find out that they themselves are trafficking kids. Because now we're finding out about Jelly Roll too. Jelly Roll just went down pretty bad in terms of the disclosure and Epstein. And yeah, so Jelly Roll went down. It's not looking good for him. It's only going to be a downward spiral. And a lot of people feel scandalized right now, as they should be. Because these people who champion themselves as building rehabs and being a humanitarian, they're all going down. So wait until you find out that all of these efforts to raise awareness about child sex trafficking, half the time they're the traffickers themselves. So there's layers and layers and layers of evil to this. And what couldn't be more evil is continuing to share Trump casual memes and joke and laugh like all is well, and you're going to continue your Johnny come lately goyfluencer slop for your 7,000 shekels. How do these people sleep at night? Because I shared this clip of Howard Lutnick yucking it up at the State of the Union, and it stirred so many people up. And they were like, you have TDS, you must be a leftist. This is exactly the bullshit that I was talking about the other day. And here we are. And needless to say, these people got put in their place pretty quickly. You know, you have like Patriot Barbie and Sassy whatever, like these like Patriot chicks, and they're going online and sharing Trump casual memes and talking about how the State of the Union was great. I want to throw up on these people. I want to go to a buffet and throw up all over these people. These people, like, they're more evil than the actual enemies themselves. Like, knowing that there was a cover up in all that we learned, and you're going to go online and share your MAGA goy maggot memes as if we didn't just learn that pretty much everybody is involved at the highest levels. I don't care anymore. Like, we shouldn't be participating in a system that's controlled by people like this. And more every day, we see the revelations about the celebrities. And next, we're going to see that the people that called themselves the evangelical Christian nationalist types, some of them were at the top of these trafficking rings. And it's really, there's a civil war in the right over Zionism. That's what's going on right now. There's a civil war in the right over Zionism. And I think it's exactly what these people wanted. Because now we have to fight amongst each other about who's actually a true patriot Christian nationalist and who's really just basically an operative for the Israeli deep state. I think that's a pretty decent way to put it, so as not to put a blanket over everybody. But to be clear, this is a select group of people. Yeah, this stuff, it's got to come to an end. The goy-fluencing, the sharing, the Trump casual memes as though this presidency knew or should have known or is involved with missing kids, trafficking, and satanic pedophilia, to continue to even like share memes or even be adjacent or even have them on your page at this juncture is disgusting. And they call it, oh, must be a Democrat, you must be a communist. I'm more American than you. I'm a heritage American. Just so that we're clear here, I'm a founding stock heritage American. Not that heritage was good after everything I've talked to you about my great-grandfather writing the New World Order. The very doctrine that all these maggot goys are walking in lockstep to, following my great-grandfather's doctrines to a T in lockstep. The New World Order was a communist idea created by FDR after he normalized relations with the Soviet Union. I'm a heritage American. And then furthermore, I probably have more balls than every single one of these maggot Johnny-come-lately goy-fluencers that call anything they don't like communism, that call anything they don't like socialism, that call something that would take their perspective and put it on their head communism. You're a Democrat. You sound like the left now. You're an old, like, these people are old ladies. These people are moving like women. And it could not be more clear now that we have really come to a head with the inner civil wars on both the left and right. Now we truly see people's true nature. Because there's, they're going to continue to sell the merch. They're going to continue to sell, and they're going to smear people like myself and many others, more or less people who are groypers. And they're going to smear us, and they're going to continue to say that we're agents for Qatar. or we're demonic fallen angels, and then you have the assistant deputy director of the FBI saying that if you think that Erica Kirk was in some way tied to Mr. Kirk's assassination, that you're demonic, that you're evil, that you're a worker of iniquity. That couldn't. So I think that the average person can see what's going on here, and I think that no matter who you are, whether you're Jewish or Christian or Muslim or black or Hindu, like I say before, I think that we all kind of have to just put aside the party line crap and, come together against what is more or less the principalities of darkness, the powers that need not be. And we need to challenge this, or we're not going to have a country. But, these people, they'll go online and we got to vote in the next midterms. We got to vote in the next elections. I'm not voting in the next elections. No matter what you tell me, I'm not voting in the next elections. I'm not buying this again. And every single time I see somebody share a Trump casual meme, bye, Felicia. Because I have principles. Yeah, I previously supported the man, and I know many other people who supported this man. I'm not going along with it anymore, because all this really was a push to make the New World Order a more palatable idea to men who believe in national sovereignty and the Constitution. So, this was just a little quick rundown. They're gonna these maggot goy-fluencer Johnny come lately shekel hustlers are gonna go out and continue to make life more difficult for the actual truthers, not the patriots, the patriots, real patriots, real truth seekers, real heritage Americans like myself, who, if I was a maggot goy-fluencer Johnny come lately, I would have jumped in on the bandwagon with my family heritage and the New World Order stuff, and then I would have still put on a hat, a red hat, and I still would have sold you an apple pie and a gun and a Bible and a gift card to the Bass Pro Shop. And then I would have just went along with it, and that's what they would have done, but that's not me. They would have fell in line lockstep with that, so that they could make New World Order money, and then turn around and do the whole apple pie American, backyard red-blooded patriot American persona, and then by night be brushing elbows with cross-dressing Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates and all the rest of those sick pedophiles. But I'm not that. I have principles. And in order to have a country, you must have principles. So when I go online and I see people, celebrating the director, drinking beer with the USA hockey. Congratulations to the hockey team, no less. I used to be a hockey player. I played hockey for 13 years and I was quite good. And, I'm an athlete. I like sports just as much as anybody else. But I also understand bread and circuses. I understand distractions. I know what time it is. And when you see the director not cleaning house the way that they said they would on day one, and you see them drinking beer, in a locker room or in a hotel or wherever they were, with your taxpayer dollars, I might add. And the goy-fluencer, maggot, Johnny-come-lately influencers are eating it up. And next, what they're going to do is they're going to sell you the alien hysteria. They're going to sell you all that so that you fall in line with the Palantir New World Order agenda. So realize there are people that are worse than the actual enemies. And I'm here to tell you who they are. And it is my hope that by tomorrow we can see less and less goy slop. Because right now the goy slop is reaching, it's at its pinnacle. And we got to start weeding these people out. Because they know who they are. They made their bed. They made their decision. And they're nothing more than a hole in the boat of true populist American nationalism. They're a hole in the boat. They know it. They know that this is a sinking ship. They're no better than the dudes playing the violin instead of helping people get in the lifeboats. But yeah, I mean, I'm disgusted. Yeah, I'm a concerned heritage American who has no less these creepy connections to the New World Order, and I didn't go along with it. And here I am, you know, alive and well, grateful for life, well trained, prepared for what's to come, because I know what's coming. And when you go online and you see dudes casually sharing the Trump memes and all this stuff, or TPUSA or any of it, just I got to get rid of them. Bye. I don't care I don't care if they don't care. It's personally for me. But yeah, that Howard Lutnick video that I shared, it went like viral, more or less. And I think that video is going to live in infamy in United States political history, because that video it's iconic in the sense that no true justice was served. That these people are still not only among you, but they continue to occupy positions of power in which they will have their finger on the scale in their favor. Well, they leverage all aspects of civilization against you. And that's a war of attrition. That's subversion. They use the bureaucracy, they use the financial systems, they use big academia, they use big medical, they control commerce, they control all the key choke points to civilization. So going forward, this is only going to get worse. They have no vested interest in improving the economy. People who do what they do to kids, not only are they not going to give you the truth, but they're not going to give you a good economy. And on top of it, the subversion is going to continue. And the Johnny-come-latelys are going to continue to tell me that I have TDS, and they're going to continue to tell me that I'm a communist and an anti-American, when in reality, I've been doing this since 2019 for free. And I used to buy into the whole MAGA camp and everything else, and I thought that there was a plan. For a little while at least, I thought that maybe there was like Interpol working with the military in some special joint operation to maybe uncover the fact that there's a child sex trafficking ring of global proportions, and that there was going to be something done about it, but there was nothing done about it. And here we are in 2026, and I'm here to say that, yeah, I was wrong about that, and controlled opposition's a very real thing. Limited hangouts a very real thing. And yeah, I've been doing this since 2019, and I happen to be a founding stock heritage American for what it's worth. That's why I have skin in the game. That's why I come on here and I denounce that which I'm related to instead of embrace it. And I think that the era of the Johnny-come-lately MAGA Goy camp has come to an end. It needs to, in order for us to be a country, in order for us to be proud enough of our country that we would participate in our elections. But for right now, that's not on the table until we can actually clean house the way that we need to. But instead, we're just going along with it, and business as usual. But this Epstein stuff isn't going away. No matter how much it tries to get swept under the rug, no matter how many beers and hockey teams win gold medals, we got to stick to what's important here. But Epstein's best friends are still walking around. They're still in control of everything. And I think that it was my duty to come online and denounce this New World Order garbage, because I'm not giving up my national sovereignty for Israel. Sorry. It's not going to happen. I'm not dying for a nation state that comes into my country, occupies positions of power, destroys my culture, and basically makes life a living hell for anybody who isn't one of the New World Order puppets, or the useful idiots that they can then turn against me. So, I'm not wearing your masks, I'm not getting vaccinated, I'm not dying for Israel. Neither should you.